Welcome everybody to the Lake District. We've got here after the snow, but there is some snow up on Blencathra, so the forecast has been mixed for up here, but I'm going to take a chance on it. A couple of the forecasts said mist, but it's a clear sky, so I think we're okay. Some of the forecasts, or the forecast was saying very high wind tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So if we're going to have any chance, then we need to try this today. I think the winds are sort of high 20s this afternoon, but dropping this evening, or from tomorrow evening, they stay high. We've got a very heavy pack today because I've got about at least 3 litres of water on me, plus winter kit. Although I did bring the Duo Mid XL, so that saved a few grams, but we're a good 18 kilograms today. Well, we're gonna keep going up. We'll be up at the snow soon. We're coming up to 500 meters, so just another 300 to go. But I was thinking of camping on Bow Fell, or the next one over, that's it's about 600 meters. It's not as high as Blencathra. Well, we've just passed 600 meters. Ooh, I'm walking very, very carefully. I've got my micro spikes with me, but it's just snow at the moment, and just being very careful. It's not too slippery, but it might be a case of putting them on if it gets icy up there, but I think we're okay with this snow at the moment. That's the view from 600 meters. This is got enough energy to play with snow. Oh. All right, well, we're gonna keep heading up because the forecast is quite breezy. It's about mid-20s up there. It's not in the 30s now, thankfully, and then it's supposed to ease off late afternoon, so it should be a calm evening, and then picking up again tomorrow lunchtime, well, morning, you know, like breakfast, lunchtime, but we'll be heading down by then. We're making progress anyway. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's scary, but I must admit it's a little bit of a challenge, this one, definitely. It feels a bit more challenging, and I've deliberately kept it a simple hilly mountain. Anyway, we're going to keep going. We're at 725 meters, and where I'll be camping will be about 650, give or take, you know, give or take a little bit. And I'm just looking at how deep this snow is, you know, right here. And that's quite deep. I mean, it may not be quite so deep further on, but I really think I'm better off turning around and heading back. I want to camp up here, but I haven't got a snow shovel. I've got axe, spikes. I don't have, you know, I don't have the skills, I don't think, to be camping in that up here. Down lower, and it wouldn't really matter. But I think I'm better off, you know, turning around and heading down and then walking up the valley, you know, a little bit. We've used about an hour because we left just before 12 and it's coming up to 1. So it'll probably take about an hour to get down, which would be 2. And then it's about 5 kilometers along the bottom. So hopefully we can do that in a couple of hours and find somewhere down there. So I'm just seeing how deep this snow is here. Maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's not so deep. And given that it gets dark early as well, I just don't think it's worth taking. I don't think it's worth taking the chance. Not by myself. You know, if I was with someone and they knew what they were doing, that would be different. You know, if I was with Chris or someone with experience, I'd stick. You know, I'd go on if they thought it was okay. But it's quite breezy as well. So it's not really chickening out. I think it's being wise. So we'll catch up a bit lower down. We made it down. We stopped at the car for 2 minutes. I didn't take the pack off. I thought I daren't take the pack off. I don't want to put it back on again. Yeah. Come on then. So I did have some tea. I did have some tea left in my cup in the car, so I was able just to grab that, finish that tea, like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I just carried on. So I was walking by 2. It's now 20 past 2. So I'm rather hoping that when we get around to Skiddaw House area, that we can find a flat area. There's a lot of flat area, and it looks like it looks like an area that should be used occasionally. I think that's probably part of Skiddaw up there. My original plan, and as usual, the wind has changed it, and the amount of snow. But my original plan was to cross Blencathra camp, come around the Cumbria Way, and then if time, which to be fair there might not have been, go up Skiddaw and down. But the winds are gusting up to 50 odd miles an hour over the next few days, so there's absolutely no way we're going up high. So we're just really gonna walk the Cumbria Way, walk out a bit, turn around and come back. But we'll take in the views. Look at that. That's some snow up there. There's a lot of snow on those tops. I think that's more than I'm equipped or prepared or skilled to deal with by myself up a, up a mountain. I thought it might have been like, you know, a few inches of snow that you kind of scrape to one side, but it looks, and maybe it is that in some places, but anyway, just this walking is this walking is exercise. We even put snow things on there. I've got the regular ones in my pack, so I can I can change them around. There's a little bit of a hill here. Really, if I see a flat area, I think anything, given that I've got my water, apart from exhaustion, you're not exactly gonna struggle getting lost on this path. I'm gonna keep walking. It's not just coming along the Cumbria Way, it was climbing up a mountain and then back down again. This kind of flattish, slightly hilly bit would have been, you know, crossing up there, but and it's not a difficult mountain. I mean, Blencathra is quite an easy mountain, really. Steep to get up, but fine once you're up there. But that was a lot of snow. I just gotta hope it gets quite cold down here, because I've brought my warmest sleeping bag. All right, well, we found a spot about 1 minute. In fact, the GoPro hadn't even turned off. Just through there. Let's see. It's not perfect. It's a bit, or yeah. I think just through. Oh no, just through. Oh, well, there's that. You know, just through there, and then I can do my cooking there. So I probably want the pole kind of there, and I just want to be sleeping through there. It's just off the path, just down there, but and that's probably Skiddaw up there. But I think, to be honest, I think we've done enough. It's 25 to 3, and I must admit I am pretty. My shoulders are aching. That's a heavy pack I carried. I carried 2 litres of water up because, like I said, I was thinking that it would be snowy but not enough to use. So I carried a lot. I must admit my shoulders are, I can feel them now. So I don't know exactly what the plan is now for the next few days. I'll have a look at the map, but we're just gonna basically follow but we'll basically follow the Cumbria Way around maybe 10-15 kilometers, I don't know, over the next couple of days. And then I would guess Thursday night, maybe aim for back here, and then I'm not too far to get back to the car. This is quite close to the car. It's just like half an hour, 45 minutes to the car here. It's really quite close. Like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit more adventurous, but the way that I sort of plan my trips, you know, I was on Dartmoor a week ago, and then last week when everyone was up here in the snow and everything was my week when I wasn't camping and I was at home. And I got up here, and by the time I got here, there was, mind you, I might have not have got here last week with the snow on the roads and everything, with the M6 closed. So this is the problem, you know, with trying to get to a snowy place. It's not so easy, but yeah. So we'll pitch up here. So now it's Tuesday. Wednesday we'll go some distance tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll come back. If we see somewhere around Skiddaw House area, then we'll camp there a Thursday evening or somewhere else on that way. But we do know this place is here, and I really don't think someone's going to be camping here Thursday evening. I think this doesn't look like a spot that people would choose, but you know, I quite like these spots that people don't use. Anyway, it's a flat area where I can lie down. You just got to kind of position your tent correctly. That's the main thing. Right, it's starting to cool off a bit now. You've kind of got to guess where you want to put it, and then take a look. Luckily the pegs go in here, because we want that flat bit through there. I will admit it's not an ideal spot, but I think we can. Let's put it this way. We will make it work, because I'm definitely not moving on. And so, you know, even if it's not the most comfortable, it'll definitely suffice. I think what I'm going to do before I commit to, you know, getting it really tight, I think it's worth getting this ground sheet in, because I want the ground sheet through here. We've actually got it a little bit further over, because I was thinking of that space there, but to be honest, it does slope down that way a little bit. I actually think I was actually looking over there, wasn't I? So I don't quite know how I ended up pitching it where I have. So I think I'm going to move. Right, we've got a pretty decent pitch. The only thing that's not brilliant is that line through there, because obviously the front is lower than that at the back. But what I'm wondering is if I loosen that off and make the pole a little bit longer, that'll make that higher, and then maybe I can get that kind of brought forward. I'll try that. So if we loosen, we will have to loosen every single line off, but it's not as if we don't have time. I think I need to loosen more things off. Right, now when I pull that forward, you can see that's tension that up better. That's that one. And that's that one. That's helped the back. Yeah. Should have done that earlier. Oh, so stupid. It's so simple. It's such a simple fix. It's such a simple fix. Oh. Such a simple fix. That's it. I mean, it does mean the front is a little bit higher off the ground, but I don't really know why it is the cut with this one, why it does come off the ground quite so much at the front. There, okay, all right, so once you've done it, obviously I think we have tightened everything up, you know, satisfactorily, but make sure your door is done up, and then go around and check all of your pegs. But as I've just done this, I'm not going to tension them up anymore with the door open. Or the only one I didn't do. It's good to have winter stuff, because even though we're down here and I'm just about getting away without gloves, I've put them on a couple of times, so I can kind of think now I need to make sure that all of my pegs that I use for winter camping, and I think I'll do a dedicated winter camp peg setup, that I can get gloves, you know, into them. I mean, if there's a lot of snow, then I need snow anchors, obviously, but we will try that. But I think this will be okay for tonight. I mean, there's still some snow on the ground here, so it's clearly going to get quite chilly. That's basically going to be me. That's going to be me for the night then, and I can settle down. In fact, I'm going to, there's not supposed to be any wind at all this evening, so I'm going to do this door. I'm going to open this door, and hopefully I might be able to leave that door open all night. I'll leave this one, I'll leave that other one done up, but I'll probably leave that open unless I have to. It's looking at the forecast, there's just about a signal. I mean, it might not get that cold. I mean, Blencathra, which is up there, is only supposed to be -1 this evening. So it might not get much colder than that. It's probably just as well I didn't stay up there, to be honest. I mean, the winds are in the mid-20s now. They do drop down at 7 o'clock, and then the evening they're gusting to 13 and less, so it's quite a calm, it is quite a calm night. So it would have been nice to have been up there, and then the winds pick up sort of mid-late morning to the mid-20s, so it's not that windy, and then it's tomorrow evening when they're back up to the 30s, and tomorrow night they're in the 40s and 50s, and it's really not the place to be in the next few days. Okay, there's no chance of rain tonight. Well, very little chance of rain tonight. I'll definitely need to get in a minute, because my hands, when they're exposed, are on the chilly side. Even if we're not up there, which looks like it would have been quite pleasant. Probably a little bit windy, very cold, a lot colder than, well, I don't know whether it would have been very much colder than here, because it says -1 up there. I don't know what it is down here. At least it's cold here. It's cold here anyway, so if nothing else, we'll get some cold weather experience. Okay, well, it's plus 0.6, 0.7, so it's about half of a degree. It's about half of a degree at the moment. I think it will get a little bit colder as the evening progresses. I put the monster's food down, and as usual she's burying it. Is it burying or burying? I don't know. She's nuzzled it. That's gonna be if I'm camping in snow with Chris, I'll have to put her food on the edge of her bed, because otherwise she'll just lose it. She'll lose it in the snow. Look at that, what a silly dog. Good evening. It's about 7:20, and it's very, very clear out. It's about -1.7 at the moment. I'll just show you around in here. So we've got frost forming on the inside, and of course there's frost forming on Lass's bed, but there wouldn't be frost on Lass's bed if Lassie actually used it. Instead, she's got frost forming on her. So we've got a frosty dog and a frosty bed. And, well, she seems she just doesn't care. She's not. I mean, I put a ton of food down, and she's just nuzzled it like a piggy. I think she's eaten it all, but I mean, she's made a right piggy mess there. Look at that. Now you stay there. You got frosty ears and a frosty tail and a frosty head. Oh, let's see. Stay. Good girl. Oh, no, you stay there. Good girl. You're a silly doggy. I tell you, I don't know what kind of. No, you stay there. I don't know what kind of conditions she needs to actually sleep on a bed. Because look at the bed. Look, I've put the bed down there, and I've pegged it out so it doesn't blow away. And underneath, she's got not only one foam mat, but two foam mats. I put the black one, the thin black one down first, and then I put this nice one down under there, which covers the entire, well, half or 3/4 of her bed, and she's sitting in the doorway frosting up. We've taken most of our clothes off. I've taken my very, very warm jacket off because I've got my very, very warm sleeping bag. It's the temperature is -1.7 ish, and this is a -21 sleeping bag. So I've got my socks on just to keep my feet cozy, but I've got nothing on my legs. I've got my underwear on, but I've got nothing on my legs, and that's kind of unusual. And my top half basically is, I've got a merino t-shirt. I've got this base layer, that mountain equipment Arrow, and then I've got my Arc'teryx Atom SL, which is the very, very light one. I did have on my Rab jacket, but I was just getting too warm in it. This sleeping bag is doing a very, very good job, but then, you know, it should, given the discrepancy between the bag and the weather. But that's my jacket. I've got my balaclava there if needed. So what does people do, you know, if you're used to this type of thing? Do you pack away your warm jacket? Do you put it in the sleeping bag? Do you just leave it out like that? You know, just interested in what people do. In this stuff sack here, I've got an MLD Spirit Quilt 48, which is a very, very lightweight quilt. I didn't bring it for myself. I brought it just in case, and the monster got cold. But given that the monster's not even on our bed, and the monster is out out there, oh God, bloody hell, Lassie. I'm not even going to bother getting it out. You probably won't be able to see the stars, but there's definitely stars up there. I've had my dinner, which was homemade spaghetti bolognese, but pasta bolognese. And I must admit, it was better than the fire pot. It's significantly better than the fire pot, to be fair. We've got fuel, tea. The one thing I did rather stupidly forget, I've put my boots over there, but they're not wet, so they should be okay. The one thing I forgot, which was a bit silly, it's not the end of the world, but it's silly, was my cheese, my cheese spread thing. I mean, I'm not going to get cold. First of all, I've got this very warm sleeping bag. I've got down booties. I've got down leggings, down trousers. I've got that Rab jacket. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to bring everything so I'd have, you know, a little bit of a flavour of, you know, of cold weather, because we just don't get it down south. Don't get the cold weather over. But yeah. Oh. The only problem that I have, and again, I don't know what other people do, are my hands. I tend to use these sort of mountain hardware, quite light gloves, and they're handy for in camp because I can just whip them on and off. And what I tend to do is, obviously I'll do it with the left hand because the right hand's holding the camera, but with my hood, if it's particularly chilly, I have my hood up and one hand I'll put in the sleeping bag, and then the other hand, obviously it's that hand, but you know, I'm kind of just giving you the idea. And then this hand I kind of put against my head under the hood, and then I lean on it, and it's just, you know, a bit like I'm leaning on this side here. It's obviously leaning this side and holding the camera, but I put my hand there, and that helps to keep my other hand warm. So one hand tends to be in the sleeping bag, and then the other one, when it starts to get a bit too chilly, goes under there, and then I kind of lean on it, and then the warmth of my head and obviously with the hood up and everything, you get a little microclimate inside your hood. Like, I suppose my meaning was, I tried the warm gloves. The trouble with the warm glove is it's like a leather palm, and then when you put that against your head, it's cold and uncomfortable, and it's not so comfortable to lean on. So you're kind of limited to this quite light glove, but it's okay. You know, it works well enough. I'm just curious as to what other people do when they're with their hands when they're in the tent. All right, well, I think I'm going to put the kettle on, but I will leave the door open. I won't bother, you know, if I unless it rains or snow. It's not going to rain, and unless it snows, and I don't think it's going to snow, I will leave, or the wind picks up, and I don't think the wind's going to pick up, then I will leave the door open. There's really no need to do it up at all. All right, well, I'm going to start warming up my right hand again, and she's probably gone off. I bet she's gone off, and she'll make a nest. She'll go and make a nest somewhere. I don't think she feels the cold down to -3 or 4. I mean, last year in the Lake District, I was bivvying, and that first night when I bivvied, oh my God. I bivvied, didn't I? Do you remember, if you saw the video? And that night went down to, I wasn't expecting it to get quite so cold, to be fair, but that night went down to like -4 at least. And of course I didn't have anything for her. And yeah, she was fine, she was. Clearly she's fine. What a dog. I've left Lizzie with mum and dad. I don't think I could, I don't think Lizzie would survive this type of temperature. Oh, bless her. Little Lizzie. Talk of the devil, and the devil may appear. Were you actually going to use your bed, are you? Settle down then. Settle down then. Okay. It's a minor miracle. Go on then, settle down. Oh dear. I thought you were going to go and make a nest somewhere. Yeah. You're going to be there in the morning. It's funny, she's fascinated by the torch. Right, well, until later on or the morning, whichever is next. If this is the end of today, then thank you very much for watching. Make sure like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all, which I don't know whether many of you do get this far. Anyone who gets this far is probably already subscribed or already keeps a close eye out. Well, we'll see you tomorrow if we don't later on. Good night, everybody.